Hello everyone, today we'll discuss the demonstration of positive and negative feedback mechanism by Professor Sabashik. So first we'll see the learning outcome. So students should able to understand and demonstrate positive and negative feedback mechanism. Principle behind this experiment. So homeostasis is the process of maintaining equilibrium in the body internal environment by constant interaction of its regulatory mechanism. So in our body we have a different type of regulatory mechanism. So one of the regulatory mechanism is the feedback system. So a feedback system include a three basic component: a receptor, control center and the effector. The feedback system can either be positive feedback system and the negative feedback system. So first we'll see the negative feedback mechanism. So what do you mean by negative feedback mechanism? So in negative feedback mechanism, a stimulus causes an opposite output, reversing the initial change in order to maintain the normal level of parameter to be regulated. So this is a diagram. In this diagram you can see here, whenever there is a stimulus which increase the blood pressure by disturbing in homeostasis, so this increased blood pressure, it is sensed by the baroreceptor which is present in certain blood vessel. This baroreceptor generate the input in the form of nerve impulses. This nerve impulses then goes to the brain, and then brain process this input and generate the output in the form of nerve impulses that goes to the effector like heart and the blood vessel. In the heart, a decrease in heart rate and the dilatation, that is the widening of the blood vessel, causes the blood pressure to decrease. When the blood pressure decrease until the return of homeostasis, when the response bring the blood pressure back to the normal. Once the blood pressure backs to the normal, the further decrease in blood pressure is stopped by a negative feedback mechanism. So negative feedback mechanism include other example include increased oxygen demand, increased blood pressure, increased body temperature, increased heart rate and pulse rate, and change in body pH. So all these are the example of negative feedback mechanism. Now the next is a positive feedback mechanism. So this is the example of positive feedback mechanism. So a positive feedback mechanism occur when the change in parameter trigger a response that causes the changes in the same direction. Unlike in case of negative feedback mechanism, the changes occur in the other opposite direction, whereas in positive feedback mechanism, the changes occur in the same direction. So here is the example: the contraction of the wall of the uterus forces the baby head or the body into the cervix. Due to this, it will increase in stretching of the cervix. This increased stretching of the cervix gives the so there is a generation of the input through the receptor. So stress sensitive nerve cells in the cervix, it generate the input, and that input goes to the brain for the processing, and the brain generate the output, and the output is what the brain interpreted the input and the release of oxytocin, and that oxytocin, it will act on the effector, that is muscle in the wall of the uterus. It will contract more forcefully. So what, due to a more forceful contraction, the baby body stretches the cervix more, and this will again increase the release of oxytocin. So this process is continue until the birth of the baby occur. Once the birth of the baby done, that time this particular cycle is stopped. So this is called as the positive feedback mechanism. So other example of positive feedback mechanism is the aggregation of platelet at the site of injury, then release of specific chemical by the platelet to attract more platelet, then initiate activation of clotting factor, and the formation of fibrin clot, that is coagulation. So coagulation is also one of the process by which it regulated by the positive feedback mechanism. So now we'll see the procedure for negative feedback mechanism. So first we'll select the subject, then ask him to relax for 5 minutes before the start of the experiment. Then we'll record the parameters like pulse rate, heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature. Record the breathing rate by counting the respiration cycle per minute. Then we'll record the pH of the blood. How we'll record the pH of the blood? Prick the finger under the aseptic condition. Take the drop of the blood on pH indicator paper and check the pH range of blood. Then we'll ask the subject to do the jogging for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of jogging, again we'll record the pulse rate, heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, breathing rate and the pH of the blood. Then we'll ask the subject to rest for 30 minutes and then again we'll record all the parameter and we'll see the observation. So when we'll see the observation, so what we observe is that all these parameters, that is pulse rate, heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, breathing rate and blood pH, all these have a normal value, that is 80 beats per minute, 79 beats per minute, 121 by 80 mm of Hg blood pressure, then body temperature. All these parameters are normal, but after 5 minutes of exercise all these parameters increase. But when we allow the person to relax for 30 minutes, again all these parameters bring back to the normal. So this is nothing but the negative feedback mechanism. Then we'll see the procedure for positive feedback mechanism. So in positive feedback mechanism, again we'll select a subject, then we'll prick the finger under the aseptic condition. After pricking the finger, we'll take a 1 drop of blood on a clean glass slide. Then we'll dip one end of the pricking needle in the blood drop and drag it up. Then repeat step 3 until the formation of clot is observed. So in this particular practical, what we'll do, we'll take a blood drop on a clean glass slide, okay, and then with the help of pricking needle, we'll drag this blood. Repeat the step 3 until the formation of fibrin clot is observed. So we will repeatedly drag it. After 1 minute we will drag it in other direction until the fibrin clot is observed. Then observe this process using a scanning electron microscope and take the micrograph. So when we observe under the microscope, so we can easily make out at what time the fibrin thread is formed. So this is the example of positive feedback mechanism, that the clotting process continue until the outcome is achieved, and all this process is done in the same direction only. So this is all about our practical positive and negative feedback mechanism. Thank you.